let's talk about the new Cartoon Network Thundercats series. We watched the pilot.
Yes, Thundercats 2011 1-hour debut pilot episode.
Yeah.
So we caught that on Friday night, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Here's what I have to say about it, though. It kind of goes along the lines with the 2000 Masters of the Universe series. I really don't like the new look to it as much. I kind of like the classic look to it. But this is not about the look. It's about something story-driven.
Writing.
It is.
Yeah.
They gave me a phenomenal story.
Really cool writing.
I mean, like I said, and some people, they just can't get past seeing this Dragon Ball Z-looking Lion-O. They can't get past that.
That doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me that much. I mean, yes, I prefer to look at what the 80s made them look like. I prefer that look to them, but you would give me so much backstory on this now. It's like, everything is so much more relevant.
But because they made Lion-O look that way and look slim and young, that just gives them room to make him evolve.
Exactly.
And by the end of the series, he could look just like the old Larry Kenny line from the 80s. How cool would that be?
That would be great.
Because the way these people write, if they do it the same way they did the Avatar animated Last Airbender series, it's amazing writing. And they're going to take us so far beyond anything we can imagine with these characters. And we're going to see them evolve and change. And their clothes are going to change. They're going to grow physically and visually, which would be cool.
I mean, if you look at like the old series, I mean, we really didn't have that much of a backstory with them. It's like they're on a ship, they leave, they crash land, and they pretty much, except for Lion-O, none of them really changed. It was all the same look throughout the whole series, from the first episode to the end.
What did you think about, like, the fact that their planet doesn't blow up? They're already on the same planet.
Yeah, they're already on Thundera. They're not going to Third Earth.
Right.
But that's a nice, interesting new concept to it.
Yeah.
Where they're just staying on this planet. It's not like the whole Krypton thing where the planet's, a dying thing.
And they gotta run in the rocket ship.
Yeah, stuff like that. Stuff like that. So, we're on this planet already, and the characters that we know and love are already in existence on this planet.
Right.
They're not just by some fluke all on the same planet like Third Earth was.
And they know nothing of technology.
It's the mutants.
Yeah, the mutants have it
the
all.
lizard people and stuff. They're the ones that know about the technology.
What do you think of D. Bradley Baker doing the voice of Slyth?
That was really cool. That was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I kind of marked out when I saw, D. Bradley Baker, the voice of Slyth, and then got Groon the Destroyer.
Mr. Krabs, Clancy Brown.
Yeah, Clancy Brown playing him, also known as Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor,
from the Superman and Justice League series.
Right.
So, as soon as you hear the voice, you know, this guy's no good.
Yeah.
He is evil.
Yeah. I like what they did with Groon, though.
Absolutely.
Because we never really saw... I mean, they did, like, some flash... I remember him and Jaga fought.
Him and Jaga, they had, like, a past.
Yeah.
You don't know what it was, but this, we see the past unfolding right here.
Absolutely.
Not just, the ghost of Jaga, the ghost of Groon. No, what happened back then?
Right.
No, he's automatically in the story.
And they show him being a traitor right there.
Yeah. As soon as I saw him, because, the true fans of Thundercats, they know who he is.
They know Groon's bad.
Groon, he's the traitor.
Yeah, he's gonna be a
He
traitor.
is the traitor. It's like, okay, when's he gonna turn?
Yeah.
When's he gonna do something just so awful to our heroes that shows he's the full heel?
But towards the end, I didn't know that was mumm-ra disguised as Panther.
I know. You know what? That was probably the one thing I really didn't like about the Panther.
I know.
mean, okay, so obviously he was turned on by Groon. I mean, did they kill him?
Well, we know he can't be dead.
I hope he won't, because he's one of the most popular Thundercats.
They're just building up his appearance, kind of stretching
But I wish
it
they
out.
would have done it to somebody else. Have him turn on Bengali or somebody like that. It was like, okay, fine, we'll bring him back later.
Speaking of, did you see Linkso's cameo?
I missed that.
You missed it? When they show the tower, because remember in the old series they had the tower of Omens, instead of the Cat Slayer where the three new Thundercats were, and there's Linkso sitting there looking out the tower, and he's blind, and then his eyes go white, the one's eyes are closed, and then he opens his eyes and they're all white.
Well, it's still on my DVR, I'm going to have to look for that now. I totally missed that.
Look for Linkso. Look for Linkso.
Okay. Tigra. Now that was a shocker. That was a total shocker.
They're brothers now.
Okay, that was the one thing. It's like, they're brothers? I mean, that wasn't really explained.
No.
I mean, is he a half-brother? And who's his mother? Who's Lion-O's mother? Is it the same woman?
We've never seen their mom in either.
Yeah, and he was a jerk.
Yeah.
He was a total, just my God, borderline villain this whole time.
He's very jealous that his brother's incompetent, yet is heir to the throne. But we also don't know why is Lion-O
Why Lion-O over Tigra?
If Tiger's so much better, why
wasn't he an heir to the throne? If he is truly the son of the king.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
I know.
But how cool. Larry Kenny.
Well, I knew about that way early on. I was really looking forward to that, and I love the fact he had such a prominent role.
Oh yeah,
in this episode. I mean, you know he was going to get killed.
Of course.
You knew
he's
doomed. he will be killed off in this episode.
Yeah.
But I just figured we'd see him for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then he gets killed, and then we move on.
Yeah. But he had
he
bigger
was
role.
the whole episode.
Bigger role than we thought, and he was the first to say Thunder.
The Thundercats.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
So what else? What do you think of Wile E. Kit and Wile E.
The fact that they're little street rats.
They're like little thieves.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing because they were just these innocent little kids that were kind of thrown in before, but now it's like, oh, they're kind of shady. So I guess kind of gives them room to build and grow.
Yeah, and they haven't met up with the core group yet.
Not yet.
Which makes sense because they were never related. You never really knew where they came from. What was their relationship? They were kind of just there.
Right.
Do you like Snarf just being a little pet and not talking?
I'm glad he's not talking. I was like, thank goodness. I was waiting for him to say something stupid, and he never did. I'm like, beautiful. Okay, keep him that way.
I think most people are happy with that. It'd be too silly if he was talking, I think. In the 80s, it was acceptable, but now they're able to...
I think we're beyond the cute little talking animal characters. I think we're beyond that now.
Yeah, they have the ability to have that sophisticated and more of a serious tone, which also on that same point, they're probably going to be able to have some kind of love triangle, love story arc with Chitara and Lionel possibly, and maybe Tigra being jealous of the two. I could see something like that.
That could very well be.
Mumm-ra, though, I really wanted to see him transform.
Well, he was going to, but he interrupted it, so...
I want to see him as Mumm-ra the Ever-Living.
Well, yeah, when he was Mumm-ra the Ever-Living, I think he was able to be out in the sun in the other elements. But when he was the old decrepit mummy form, I think that he could not leave his temple.
And we haven't seen his temple and his pyramid or his sarcophagus. We haven't seen any of that yet. So I'm curious to see. And they're searching for the Book of Omens, so who knows how long that's going to take,
Yeah, it's probably just going to go the whole season.
Yeah. How many seasons do you see it last?
Well, I mean, the He-Man one went 3 seasons, and that was with very little hype with advertisement. So if they can get on the ball with this, it can go past that, I'm sure.
I'd be happy with it in the minimum 3.
Yeah.
3 or more.
3 seasons would be good. That'd be a good run for it.
But I think what killed He-Man, they kept changing the damn time, remember?
Well, yeah, and they wouldn't tell you when it was.
No.
You see an episode, it's not, and they'd say, tune in next week, and the next week happened to be a different day and a different time.
Yeah,
how do you know?
That's what
they don't tell
it.
you.
And that was before DVR and all that as well. But what I like about this time slot, did you notice it's the same time slot and day as Clone Wars? Yes, it is. So I'm thinking that when Star Wars comes back, it'll take its old time spot. So they'll kind of toggle back and forth.
Okay.
So that way it's kind of going towards the same fan base.
Okay.
So it'll be easier to keep track of, easy to keep the viewership up, and it left me wanting more, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about the other voices? Did any voices bother you at all?
No, in fact, I thought that a lot of them sounded really close to the original. Like, if you listen to Tiger's voice and Chitara, they sound a lot like they did in the 80s. I know it's different, but they kind of sounded like them a little bit.
Has that captured the same spirit of it?
Yeah, they totally did. And again, Larry Kenny's voice, that was phenomenal.
That was a dream come true right
Heck
there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Too bad his son Tanner didn't do Lionel's voice. That would have been more.
That would have been cool.
Poetic.
Yeah, that would have
Tanner, I
been
hope you're listening to this.
that would have been really cool.
Good buddy of mine.
So, we both loved it.
Yeah, I can't wait for next week.
I'd give it 5 stars. I want more.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool, man. So we'll be watching it next Friday at 8:30 on Cartoon Network.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. Well, this is Chris.
And it's Andre.
Signing off for another Nerdgasm review, and it was actually our first audio podcast.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it.
So hope you enjoyed it and hope to do more. See you next time, guys.
Peace.
Bye.